Okay, so collaboration has been going on for some time, as Clive's been saying. I thought we'd have a brief discussion on why Titian thinks partnerships work so well. This one is AstraZeneca, Titian, Labcyte and Brooks, all working closely in a partnership. And what they do is bring best-in-class solutions, best-in-class ideas to bring eventually new medicines to the market. That's the real reason Titian are in this business. It's not just to make fancy code for software. It's actually, we know the end goal is to help the scientists get to that goal of helping the patients. Working with vendors gives the scientists also the choice of the best in class. They can choose. So Titian has a overall view of, we don't just work with one store manufacturer. We work with several store manufacturers. We don't work with one liquid handler. So that gives the businesses the choice of where they want to be working. And we also feel that no single company can do everything. So I think Labcyte will admit that they don't want to create an ordering system to help people order the compounds. What their specialist is the acoustics. So that's why we think these partnerships are really important, and hopefully this won't be the last partnership going forward. So now I'd like to take you through the process of what a scientist and the operators need to do within the Mosaic. So this isn't the physical side, if you like. This is what data flows and what software is required in order to make this happen. The first step, of course, is a scientist somewhere or a project team decide what compounds they require in a screen. This is a Mosaic simple order. AstraZeneca also have their own in-house ordering system, so people can use both. And here they specify mainly just the line items, so the substances that are required for that screen. It can be as simple as that. We have more advanced ordering where you can get more into depth, but the regular users don't need to enter that much detail. Once the order's validated by Mosaic, tubes are then sent to a nice new Brooks store. And Robin will be telling us more about that. Titian's had an integration with the Brooks stores for some time. There have been a few enhancements because there is pressure on making the processes on the Labcyte accesses as efficient as possible. So there's a batching system to help always create full plates instead of partial plates. But also there's the ability to do very large pick orders, and even going as far as if the orders are out on another access, for instance, so they're out of the store, you can still put your pick job in, so when they come back into the store, they can get picked for the next HGS run. But to be quite honest, that's not been the major development for this project. The major development's been on helping the Labcyte system be easier to run by the operators. The Tempo Fulfilment module, Tempo being the software that runs the accesses, allows easy setup of a Tempo run through our new Mosaic application. There is no manual file handling. There are no Excel spreadsheets to calculate your dose responses. This is all done automatically for you. There are a few base protocols. Those are then modified by Tempo Fulfilment module, including the calculations for the best fit of the curve. This, and then we sweep back in all the log files from bulk fillers, 1 or 2 echoes depending on the run, and even updating plate and tube survey data. So, if there's been some evaporation because the cap's been left off too long or something, that will be updated as the process goes along. And we also provide a comprehensive audit trail, so if anything's gone wrong, you can always trace back, and maybe there was an air bubble in one of the tubes which caused the problem. That's all tracked. Yeah, as I was saying, small set of pre-configured templates for dose response or cherry pick. The operators are guided on this batching, so they're always pushed or warned if what they've selected won't produce a full 1536 or a full 384. And the real big one for me, and hopefully if you get a chance to come down and see the demos, it is 5 clicks from opening TFM to having the access start. It's that simple. And if anybody, I suspect some of you are Tempo users at the moment, and you'll know there's a lot more steps at the moment. So that's been really streamlined. So one of the main reasons for doing this is a performance reason. So the batch runs, as I've explained, allows maybe one set of runs to be done on one echo, another set of runs done on another echo. So doubling the speed. It allows queuing of batches, so you can do runs overnight and multiple runs overnight. The inventory is updated now in real time as well, so you don't have to wait for the end of the tempo run. It's as plates leave a liquid handler, the data is updated. So it's not quite, but by the time you pick your plate up, the data will be waiting. And of course, because all the processes are done automatically, it removes the human error. So hopefully you won't have to remake plates because you've run the wrong protocol or done some calculation slightly wrong. And even as far as streamlining the run creation, so you utilize less labware on the work cells as well, and even volumes of compound, which I'm just going to. So because the calculations are done automatically, you're not always making the same size intermediate plates, for instance. The intermediates are to scale for that exact process, so you end up using less compound as well. Again, removes the human error, so you don't have to recreate the protocols. We react to the survey volumes, so if they're, as I was saying, an air bubble, because you haven't done a centrifuge for long enough or something, the data is not only transferred to the destination plates, but there's also, because of the audit trail, you can trace that back to the tube that may have an issue. You may then inspect it and, for instance, find that there's a precipitate in there or something like that. So it helps you keep your compound collection as good as possible. Yeah. Capping and decapping is tracked as well. I don't think, well, maybe we'll hear what the limit of capping and decapping is now, but when this project started, that was an unknown, so that was another requirement. And the rack usage is tracked as well, so how many times a rack is used for picking and placing. As I was just hinting at, there's a demo of TFM at the Labcyte booth. We don't have an access on our booth. So there's one at 2 o'clock today and another one at 9:30 tomorrow. We'll probably start 10 or 15 minutes a bit later, just allowing everybody to get there, especially for tomorrow's session, because that's an early start for the booth. The conference the exhibition centre only opens at 9:30 tomorrow. So please come along and you'll see how easy it is to work. And then our booth, the Titian booth, is at booth 1635. Please come along. We have an application note if you want to know more about TFM. And of course we also have an integration with the standalone Echo still, if you don't have a tempo system running your acoustic dispenser. So again, come and talk to us at the booth. Robin.